So, onto the item itself, and fire away.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, so this is an appraisal report that asks the committee, in light of public consultation outcomes and the outcome of consulting with the North Area Committee, to implement phase 1, the North Area of the Cambridge 20 MPH project. Also asks to commence the automatic traffic counts and consultation for phase 2, and it sets out the costs associated with that. And that's it really in short. That's all we're asking.
Thanks. I mean, quite clearly this is following on from North Area Committee, which has given a fairly strong lead there. But Karina and George, the hands I've seen so far.
Thank you, Chair. I really just wanted to respond in part to the earlier speaker on Victoria Road and kind of commend what he's saying. I'm actually a resident of Victoria Road, and I agree with almost everything he's saying there. It's a very, very narrow residential street. Residents have been campaigning for months to try and get Victoria Road included, kind of backing a lot of local businesses as well. So it really is an overwhelming support for that. The pavements are extremely narrow, there's inertia still there, there's barely enough room to walk along with a pram. That's very, very frightening for residents sometimes when you see, large lorries barrelling down the street at 40 or 50 miles an hour, which they do quite regularly. So I just wanted to back Mr Quinn and offer support, very, very strong support for the consultation on Victoria Road. We know 20 miles an hour isn't a magic wand to sort out traffic problems on Victoria Road, but I agree with the other residents and the neighbours that yes, this is something that might make a very big difference to the quality of life on the street.
Thank you, and George.
My question is at cost, because when this was initially agreed as a capital bid, the capital bid was for 400 grand. Phase 1 was cost 158 grand, 158,700 pounds. Now, my maths isn't brilliant, but if that is replicated on all the other four, it will go way over budget. It will go over 600,000 pounds. I know there was also a PPF fund for PPF bid to cover some of the initial staffing costs. However, my question is, what is it likely to go that far over budget, and will there be kind of savings from is this 158,000 that's been spent on the first phase, is that likely to come down in future phases because of, I don't know, knowledge and expertise you've gone into the previous phase and other costs that are kind of what would be less, if you see what I mean? So I just don't want this to end up costing, being a black hole which would produce more and more money.
I'll go to Tim first, then Ben.
This is one of these chicken and egg things. You can't get staff to work on a project unless you've voted the money for it, and you can't vote the right amount of money until you've done the work and you know how much the right amount is. The estimates that we had for the original budget bid were the best available at the time, which were doing sums on other places done 20 miles an hour and doing it pro rata on the number of inhabitants, which had nothing to do with actually counting the number of roads and the number of junctions and the number of signs that we need and that sort of thing. And that work has now been done for the first time for phase 1, so we do now have a handle on this. Based on the figures in front of us, and Ben will in a moment say what mitigation measures he has in mind and why it's probably not quite as bad as it looks. It does seem possible that there might need to be another capital bid in order to complete phase 4 in due course.
Thank you, Ben.
Yes, that's right. The figures quoted in the report are sort of maximum figures, really, because they're based on an estimate put together, based on figures that we currently have for things like new signs, etc. However, once we get solid quotes back, we'll have a much better idea of how much it will cost, and it's my I believe that the cost will be less than is currently stated, because I didn't want to put in the report that it was going to be less in case it did go up, but if anything, it's likely to go down. Also, the north phase is likely to be the most expensive phase because it's the longest stretch of road included in the project. All the other phases have shorter sections of road being affected. And so there are more signs, more lines involved in this phase than any of the other phases, which is one of the reasons it was prioritised to be looked at first. Yeah.
Thank you. Gail.
Thank you. It's just a question really on co-working with the county on the project. Obviously their cooperation is going to be essential, and I think it might be helpful if we just have a little bit of information about how that cooperation is working and what their input is going to be, both financially in terms of decision making and in terms of timeframes.
Yes, we have regular officer working groups with the county. In fact, we have one today. They take place roughly every 3 weeks. We have 2 officers from the county who've been allocated to work with us on the project, so we've got quite a close relationship with them as we work through the project. Because the county are obviously the highway authority, the project will have to go to the county cabinet, which is happening for phase 1, depending on the outcome of this committee, happening for phase 1 on the 29th of this month, to ask to commence the statutory process, the traffic court process. And we're working very closely with county officers on the statutory process and making sure we get the notices out and that kind of thing. Other issues that need to be dealt with county include maintenance and that kind of thing, and coordinating works. And those elements are being looked at through the officer working groups, regular meetings that we hold with county officers.
Thank you.
The London Borough of Islington is the first London Borough to have 20 mile an hour across the board, and I've been there quite frequently, and it's very well signposted. I just wonder if there are any lessons to be learned from their experience, but whether we are in touch with boroughs like Islington to learn any lessons which could have a cost saving factor.
Yeah, that's certainly a very good suggestion. I've been in contact with Brighton and Hove specifically on their traffic order process to find out how they did it. But as you say, Islington, I've certainly looked at their information they have on the website, but I will contact them. It's a good idea.
Thank you. If there are no more questions, I get the sense that we're all in favour of the process and are keen to see this project roll forward. Can we go to the recommendations now? And can I see all those in favour of recommendations? Unanimous? That's all. Thank you very much. And thank you very much.